On today's Shades of San Diego, Cox Communications celebrates Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. From two people making a positive impact in the community to a round of performances you won't want to miss. That and much more on Shades of San Diego. Hello and welcome to Shades of San Diego. I'm Deanna Guevara. This show explores the wide array of people, ideas, and cultures that thrive in our diverse community. In the spirit of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, Shades and Cox Communications recognize influential individuals making a difference in the community. Joining me now is the co-founder of the Jonathan Tarr Foundation and Cox Diversity Honoree, Robin Tarr. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Deanna.
Well, first off, tell us who Jonathan Tarr is.
Jonathan Tarr was a real boy. He was 17 years old when he died in a tragic automobile accident, and in his memory, the day after he died, we went to the bank with $25 to start the Jonathan Tarr Scholarship Fund, thinking that if we could give one $500 scholarship to a student graduating from a continuation high school in San Diego County, then my heart would have been happy. As it was, within 6 months' time, we had $10,000 in the account, and we were able to give our first 4 scholarships to students graduating from high schools in San Diego County. And then that was the seed money to eventually start the Jonathan Tarr Foundation, which was started 2 years later.
Wow, $10,000 of your own hard-earned saved money for your son. I mean, who does something like this? And the kids that you mentioned, these aren't straight A students, right?
Correct. The Jonathan Tarr Foundation was very fortunate that we had wonderful family, friends, and then Jonathan's father was involved in an international company. So when the email went out internationally that our son had died, then Jonathan's father's professional friends and co-workers, colleagues, started sending donations too. So a lot of the donations came from strangers as well as our family and friends.
And it's all on a volunteer basis, right? All these people
Yes,
their
the
own
Jonathan Tarr Foundation is totally volunteer basis. We have no office, we have no overhead. 90% of the money goes directly to the Windows of Opportunity scholarships and for the students for their post-secondary education and their leadership opportunities.
But at the same time, it's been difficult, being that you've been around for about 10 years now, right?
Yes,
Yes.
The foundation has been in existence for about 10 years, or our mission has, and no one knows about us. We're very small, and the types of students that we serve, the high schools fly under the radar.
Sure.
These are middle to underserved students who are not academically.
They're not straight A students. They need a helping hand, and they're students that you were telling me that are often overlooked, right? So it's, in that sense, it's been hard for you to gain the volunteers, the donations.
Yes, and thank you for recognizing that, Deanna. The students are, many of them, first generation to graduate from high school, first generation in their families to attend college. So these are students graduating from continuation, independent charter, magnet high schools, and secondary high schools offering AVID, which is a highly tutorial motivational program for students who have no college in the background of the family.
So what type of qualifications do these kids need to meet in order to get a scholarship from the Jonathan Tarr Foundation?
Because of the specialty high schools that we target, we know at the end of December how much money we have to allocate towards the Windows of Opportunity scholarships, and then we select the high schools. Then in February, we have a teachers, counselors reception at the University of San Diego, and those teachers and counselors come to us, and that's the day that they receive the scholarship packages. Then they go back to their high schools, and then they select the student that best fits the Jonathan Tarr Foundation profile and the qualifications that we are asking for. So it takes a lot of people holding hands.
Sure.
It takes the teachers and the counselors, because they are the success to our program. They pick the student that they know is graduating, that they know will succeed in going to college.
And I got to point out also that you also pay a special attention to minority students, being that you are of Chinese and Hawaiian descent, right? This is also another group who is often overlooked with foundations like this.
Absolutely. 78% of our population are Pacific Islander, Asian, Filipino, Black, and other. The following 28% would be white, but they all have a need. They all walk taller, smile brighter when they know that they've received the Jonathan Tarr Foundation Scholarship. And their parents, we have the smiles on the faces of the students, and then we have the tears on the faces of the parents, because they're so very proud of their students that have received this scholarship.
This is a very generous thing that you do, especially being, knowing the backstory to this, that you lost your son and donated his college fund money to start this organization. Why do you do it?
Absolutely. I don't have a son any longer. I have 2 children, and the oldest one graduated from University of Hawaii, Manoa, but the youngest son had great potential. He just didn't live long enough to fulfill his destiny, and so his legacy goes on through these scholarships that are named in his memory, the Windows of Opportunity scholarships.
And in the spirit of this foundation and what you're doing, how do you want Jonathan to be remembered? Especially, how do you relay him and his legacy to these students? Jonathan
danced hula. He surfed a longboard. He skied. He snowboarded. He was a lacrosse goalie and a soccer goalie, and he worked at a local Vaughn store because the school that he attended, they had a work study for credit program. And so Jonathan would go to school early in the morning until noon, and then he would check out of school, and then he would go to work. And that gave him so much self-confidence and self-esteem, and he really did meet the community. He gained so many work skills, Deanna. So Jonathan was that real boy. There were a lot of other students out there just like him, and I just wanted to give a scholarship, thinking that one scholarship would have been good, and we ended up now with 271 scholarships at 60 high schools in San Diego County, representing all 18 high school districts.
All right, such a selfless foundation. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming on the show today. Thank you. When Shades of San Diego returns, we'll introduce you to another honoree helping build strong cultural ties in the community. We'll be right back.